Welcome, one and all, to this year's Fantasy Football Draft. Now, I did this last year with a different league and couldn't finish the season, but this year, I want to be different. I'm going to try to post a video every single week from now until the NFL playoffs, recapping the previous week in the FFL. And if I don't, you get to unsubscribe. Please, don't do it. Now, over the last week and a half, my friend Noah and I gathered 8 hooligans, including ourselves, to join this league. There are 8 teams, 2 divisions. There are some other things I could tell you about this league, but that's for a different video. So if you want to know more, go over there. But for now, the FFL is here, and the draft is about to start. The Charlotte Cobras were granted the first overall pick, with a little bit of luck, as the draft order was randomized, as well as being a snake draft. This could be an interesting one. And I think the pick is in.
With the first overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, the Charlotte Cobras select Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, Minnesota Vikings.
I think that was a very fair pick, pretty much the consensus top player in this year's draft. The second pick goes to the Weasels, and they have a lot of options here. Probably one of the top couple wide receivers, maybe Travis Kelce, or maybe a running back. So let's take a look.
With the second overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, the Wisconsin Weasels select Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Kansas City Chiefs.
Definitely a surprise, but I understand the mindset. It's a snake draft, and they pick next at 15, so they're expecting all the top 3 quarterbacks to go off the board in that time. Why not pick one up now? Anyway, the Cheeseheads are on the clock, and at 3, we can expect the same that we did with the Weasels' last pick.
With the third overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, the Green Bay Cheeseheads select Isaiah Pacheco, running back, Kansas City Chiefs.
And wow, I don't know what to think of that. I could go on a tangent right about now, but let's listen to the reasoning behind the pick. Isaiah Pacheco is underrated. Okay. Well, let's just move on to the 4th pick, as we have the Salt Lake Skiers on the clock.
With the 4th overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, the Salt Lake Skiers select Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Baltimore Ravens.
And Lamar Action Jackson goes to Salt Lake. Wow, another QB off early. Not even a top 3 quarterback. Okay, the 5th pick is up next, and we have the first of 2 teams auto-drafting. Let's see the machine's decision.
With the 5th overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, Team 8 selects Jamar Chase, wide receiver, Cincinnati Bengals.
And finally, Chase goes off the board after a while. Expected him to see a couple centuries ago. That's all I need to say. Hopefully we can finally see some human composure as the San Diego Sharks got the 6th pick in the first round.
With the 6th overall pick in the 2023 FFL Draft, the San Diego Sharks select Christian McCaffrey, running back, San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense at this position. Top player on the board, lucky he fell to San Diego. And for the 7th pick, the second auto-picking team is up. The robot is in control of the Stunner Boys' fate.
With the 7th overall pick in a 2023 FFL Draft, the Stunner Boys select Cooper Kupp, wide receiver, Los Angeles Rams.
And once again, the computer makes a smart choice as the Stunner Boys scoop up Cooper Kupp very late. The only concern is an injury. But when he's healthy, Kupp can be the best wide receiver in the league. To finish up this very memorable first round, the Royalville Rhinos are on the clock.
With the 8th overall pick in a 2023 FFL Draft, the Royalville Rhinos select Travis Kelce, tight end, Kansas City Chiefs.
And the Rhinos take a solidified best tight end in the league, and possibly ever. But just the fact that he fell this far, knowing who was picked before him, makes this first round even more exciting. Okay. That was the first round, and I kind of doubt that you want to listen to that for the next 20 rounds. So I'll just summarize each round in order before making my final judgments on each individual team post-draft. Round 2 began with Nick Chubb and Tyreek Hill leaving before we got the second quarterback in the top 3 to go, Joshua Allen. Afterwards, Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor went off the board just before Justin Fields was taken by the Green Bay Packers before Jalen Hurts even saw the light of day. We finished round 2 and begun round 3 with 3 wide receivers in CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, and Devontae Adams. Then in round 3, more running backs and wide receivers left: Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Bijan Robinson, T. Higgins, and Tony Pollard. Then the Rhinos took the first defensive player and lineman, Myles Garrett. Next, in round 4, the Rhinos got their QB with Justin Herbert before a variety of players left to their respective teams. Saquads, Max Crosby, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derrick Henry, George Kittle, Devonta Smith, and TJ Hawkinson. This trend continued into round 5, starting with the weird one, Justice Hill, before the Weasels selected the first linebacker, Foyesade Alucon. Then we get Nick Bosa before the first kicker is selected, future Hall of Famer Justin Tucker. The chaos slowed for a second with Garrett Wilson, Darren Waller, and Jalen Waddle headed to their new teams, and then we end the round on Matthew Judon. Round 6 started with Najee Harris before Jalen Hurts finally got drafted, just before we got 5 wide receivers in a row. Deebo Samuel, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Christian Watson, DJ Moore, and Trevor Lawrence. Wait a minute. That's 6 wide receivers. One is probably just faking as a wide receiver. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, round 7 has started, and 2 running backs, Travis Etienne and Aaron Jones, went first, along with a little Dallas Goedert right in the middle of the two. After that, we got Mark Andrews, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Micah Parsons to end the round. We began round 8 with a bunch of wide receivers, Scary Terry, Kyle Pitts, Brandon Ayuk, Evan Ingram, D-Hop, and Tyler Lockett. Ramondre Stevenson went, and then the plague began. Harrison, butt kicker, got drafted, and it was like a nuclear reaction went off. It started a bit late. Adam Thielen and Rayshon Jenkins were drafted, but then another kicker was taken. Tyler Bass. Christian Wilkins got out of there quickly, but it had already begun. Daniel Carlson, the next kicker to go. Joe Mixon barely made it out in time, but it was over. 2 kickers went in a row. Jason Myers and Evan McPherson. Phew, that was a close one. And yes, I just dramatized the fact that 5 kickers were drafted within 9 picks. What are you going to do about it? Round 10 started out normal. Trey Hendrickson and Eric Kendricks got picked, and then another kicker. And this time it's Young Hoku. At the halfway point, TJ Edwards and Jordan Hicks get picked before a bunch of D linemen go, starting with Aaron Donald and Daron Payne, finishing with Chris Jones and DeForest Buckner, now in round 11. This round was very defensive aligned with Talawana Hufanga, Devin White, Julian Love, Dre Greenlaw, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Cody Barton. The lone offensive piece was Van Jefferson? Who? Now round 12 is filled to the brim with defensive players. Here's the list. Derwin James, L'Jarius Sneed, Levante David, Jalen Ramsey, Jonathan Allen, Buda Baker, Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, and Patrick Queen. Oh, wait, Patrick Queen was in round 13. My bad. Anyway, after Patrick Queen went Aaron Rodgers. And then some more defense, Tyrann Mathieu, Fred Warner, Richie Grant, Kevin Byard, Grant Delpit, and finishing with a wide receiver in Gabe Davis. Now, onto round 14. This is the defensive background, and Kenneth Walker, but we'll get to that. First, Jair Alexander, Jalen Thompson, Harrison Smith, Shaquan Brisker, Rasul Douglas, CJ GJ, Kenneth Walker, who's a running back, and Javon Holland. And round 15 is the same thing, but no Kenneth Walker and all of the other defensive positions. You want the list? Okay, here it is. Tyson Campbell, CJ Mosley, Bobby Wagner, Deshaun Elliott, Cameron Hayward, Trevon Diggs, Quentin Williams, and Tre'Davious White. Okay. This is getting boring. I'm losing your attention span. Let's see what's in the next round. Ooh, interesting. Let's get into it. A running back goes first, DeAndre Swift. Next, the defensive back, Stephon Gilmore. Then the defensive lineman, Javon Hargrave. In the middle, we got a QB, Tua Tagovailoa. And then another DB and D-line, Justin Reed and Aiden Hutchinson. And ooh, another QB. This time, we got Deshaun Watson. Graphics saying I'm going crazy. Okay, round 17. We got a lot of skill position players, starting with Keenan Allen, Dalton Schultz, and Tyler Higbee. Oh no, not another kicker this early. Matt Gay goes to the Skiers. Anyway, Chris Olave, Dawson Knox, Breece Hall, and the ancient D-line, Calais Campbell. Now we got a few running backs to begin round 18, in Raheem Mostert and Miles Sanders. Then a whole bunch of random guys finish the round. Willie Gay, Mike Williams, David Njoku, Kirk Cousins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Kyle Duggar. As you can see, at this point in the draft, there's not much competition for players, and the teams are just trying to fill out their bench spots. So you can pause this if you want, but I don't want to waste your time. As for my post-draft thoughts, I will have a full video on that coming soon, but here's the condensed version. Where the Charlotte Cobras are good, they are great, but where they are poor, they are bad. They have a great wide receiver core, as well as a strong DB room, but their linebackers, QBs, and running backs are very lackluster. The Wisconsin Weasels are very well-rounded, but there's definitely room for improvement. But for now, they have 3 separate players at different positions that are the best at what they do in terms of fantasy. The Cheeseheads made many questionable decisions throughout the draft, and they are in need of improvement. The Skiers are very well-rounded, on offense, but the decision to take a kicker in round 5 has left their defense with not much elite talent. The first auto draft team, as you would expect, is very decent in all aspects of fantasy. A lot of wide receivers and running backs, but not much of anything else. And the other auto draft team, the Thunder Boys, is the exact same. The Sharks, on the other hand, are one of the most underrated teams on offense, in my opinion. There's a lot of depth at running back and wide receiver, and they pulled this off while also getting Josh Allen and having a very good DB and D-line room. But there's not much to say at linebacker. The Rhinos are very top-heavy in most positions, but their terrible wide receiver room is going to need to get fixed in free agency. And with that, you heard me right. There's going to be a free agency episode coming soon. Free agency is basically the point in time when all the players that didn't get drafted are getting picked up and everyone's making cuts and trading and all that. So that's going to be coming soon. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode. It's either going to be explaining all the different things I'm doing in this league or this uncondensed version of the draft recap. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.